What if managing your expenses was as easy as taking a picture? Imagine just snapping a picture of this, of just a normal receipt, and all your expenses are logged, categorized within seconds, without typing anything, just with your phone and taking a picture. So I will show you today how to do that. You will need an iPhone because we will need the shortcuts app. You will need a Make account because we will process the data with Make. You will need a Notion account because we will enter everything into Notion. And you will also need a Google Cloud Console account as we will use Google Cloud Vision, and a paid ChatGPT account because we want to access the ChatGPT API. And then we will build the scenario together. So if you're curious, just stay here and follow. So let's first have a look at the database. You see there are some entries to make it a bit more visual for you. So we have the item here. This is the item, how it is exactly written on the bill, on the receipt that you receive from, for example, the supermarket. Then we have here the price, the date when you bought it, the category, and the store name. There are two more properties here, which is created time. This is not necessary. This is just for me out of curiosity. And the temp name. This is exactly the same name as the item name, but we will need it for the workflow to work properly. Okay, so this is the database. Of course, you can create more properties, but this is all I need for, this is all I need. Okay, so let's check the shortcut. How is the shortcut set up? I called it shopping tracker. And this is very simple here. So we have here a module that is called take one photo. This here, take photo. And then I toggled on show camera preview. There, before it's been sent, it will show you the picture and you can decide whether or not you want to use it, or maybe you need to retake the photo in case it's blurry or too small, not visible enough. And then you enter a module that is called get contents of URL. And what we paste in here is the webhook URL that we will create in the make scenario. So the method here is post because we want to send data. We don't want to retrieve, we want to send data. Headers here is empty, so this you don't need to worry about. The request form is form. There's also JSON and file, but we have form. And then here in key, you enter picture, image, receive, whatever. That doesn't matter. Then the type is a file because we send a file, that's the picture, and we don't send a text, so we choose file here. And the value here, you will have the opportunity to choose. Here we can now just click photo, or we can go to select variable and then we click here photo. Don't worry that this will be empty. That doesn't matter. It's still working. And that's all for the shortcut. So we can close this and then we can head over to the make scenario, which is this one. This is our scenario. And I will quickly give you an overview what is done here before we go to more detail into the single steps. So here, this is our webhook. This webhook retrieves our data. So this retrieves our image. Then this image is being processed by Google Cloud Vision, which will extract the text of the image. This text is then being processed by ChatGPT, and ChatGPT sorts it by the product, so the name of the product, the price. In my case, it's in dollar, but you can use whatever currency you want. The date, then it will be assigning a category, and it extracts the store name. And then through this router, we will send it to several text parsers that will extract single items and then create databases or create database items or update database items. So this is how this basically works. So you just need to take a picture and everything else is done automatically. So let's go a bit more into detail into how we set this up. Okay, so we first need a webhook. So you choose the webhook module and you choose custom webhook. Then you give it a name. This is there's a typo in that name. Please don't care about this. But here you just copy address to clipboard and it copies the webhook. And this webhook you enter then into the shortcut. This is what you enter here, nothing else. This is the only thing that you have to enter here. And then you click save. The next thing you have to do is to add a Google Cloud Vision module. And this Google Cloud Vision, you have to first establish a connection. So you need to have a Google Cloud Console account. You connect your account here. Then you choose here data, not URL, because we are sending data. And here in file, you map the data that you receive from the webhook. So you go here, you receive a picture, and you want to open file, and then you map the data. This is what you map. You don't need the name, you just need the data. Okay, and then I toggled on here, optimize the detection for dense text and documents, and then you click save. So let me quickly show you how to access the Google Cloud Console. You just type console.cloud.google.com, then you have to log into your account, and then you click on these three lines here. You go to admin, and then you go to create a project here. Then you give it a name and a location. I don't have any specific location, so it's just no organization. And then you click create. So I cancel this because I don't want to create a new project. Then I go here to API and services, and then to library. And here you search for Cloud Vision API. You click here. And then you should be able to select enable here. Since I have it already enabled, I don't get this option anymore, but just click enable here. And the next step then is to set up the billing. Therefore, we go here to billing. And here you have to add your billing information. After you have set up your billing information, you go again to APIs and services and choose credentials, and then click here, create credentials, and then API key. And then it creates an API key for you. And this is the one that you can use then to connect your Google Cloud Vision to make.com. So this is how you access the Google Cloud Vision API. So we can go back to our scenario. Okay, so after that, you add a ChatGPT module. Also here, you need to establish the connection to your ChatGPT account because this will access the API of ChatGPT, and this you cannot do without an account, which is also a paid account. So you will need to pay for that, but it is minor. So let me quickly show you how to access the ChatGPT API. So therefore you will need a paid ChatGPT subscription. And then you go to platform.openai.com/settings/organization/API-keys. And then you can create here a new secret key. So then how do you charge money? Therefore, you go to platform.openai.com/settings/organization/billing/overview, and then you can adhere to your credit balance. This works with a credit card, so this is very easy to do. You can enable auto recharge. I have this off because I want to keep the control myself. So then let me quickly show you how much it will cost. So we have here the single models, and the pricing is per input, per 1,000 tokens input, and per 1,000 tokens output. An output can be seen as a word or a sign depending on the language you use. In my experience, I paid very, very, very little to process the receipt data. Here it seems to be, here 1,000 tokens seems to be 1,000 words, so which is a lot. So, and here let's take, for example, the GPT-4 model. Here you pay 3 cents per 1,000 input tokens. So what the Google Cloud Vision module extracts and sends to GPT, this is the input, and you pay 6 cents per 1,000 output tokens, so which is the result of ChatGPT, our output. Why I chose GPT 3.5, you can see here. So I pay not even a cent for the input per 1,000 input tokens, and not even 2 cents for 1,000 output tokens. So, and as I said, the GPT 3.5 model is sufficient for this purpose, so I stick to this one. Okay, then let's go back to our scenario. Okay, then you select the method. I selected here create a chat completion. And then I choose the model GPT 3.5 Turbo. You can also use newer models, that is totally up to you, but the price will be slightly higher. But I guess it only makes a difference if you really process a lot of data. You will probably not notice if you only process a receipt every now and then. Nevertheless, I chose the GPT 3.5 Turbo model because it is a bit cheaper and is sufficient for my purpose. So I don't need the 4 model. Then here under message, you choose the role user because you are using ChatGPT. So as if you used it just with the normal ChatGPT interface, I choose user. And then here you enter the prompt. And this is a little long. I will explain you why we need to write all of this. So first I asked ChatGPT to please extract the following data from the text that we get from our Google Cloud Vision module. Using the exact structure below, assign a category to every item and ensure the following strict formatting. And the formatting is the following. So it will first extract the product, which is the product name. Then the total price in dollar, which will be followed by the price. Then name 1, which is again the product name. Shop, which is the shop or store, however you want to call it. Name 2 is again the product name. Then we have date in ISO 8601. This is the date Notion works with, and then followed by the date in the correct formatting. Then we have name 3, again the product name. And then we have the category with followed by the category. Okay, and then we say ensure there's exactly one blank line between product entries and do not add any numbering, bullet points, or special characters. If the date is in a different format, transform it to ISO 8601 without the time. The product name should be identical for each item wherever it appears. For the price, only use the number, no currency signs. Okay, so why do we have now name or the product name 4 times here? This you will see when we go to the next step. So first of all, now we click here, save, and then we have a router. And this router leads to 4 different text parsers. These text parsers now separate or extract. They extract the product and the price, in this case, the name and the shop, the name and the date, and the name and the category. Why can we not use only one parser to extract all of these? This is because with the text parser, you always get a name and a value. So you only can extract 2 items. The index you cannot influence. So this you cannot modify. You don't need to pay attention to this here. So we only can extract 2 items because we always have name and value. So first we extract the product and the price. So the value in that case is our product and the name is the price. So now let's have a look at our ChatGPT output. So this is the output. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 products. And you always find first the product, then the price, then the name, which is again the product, the shop, name again, which is product, and the date, name again, and the category. So what the text parser is now doing, it is extracting these first 2. The second text parser is extracting these 2. The third text parser is extracting these 2. And text parser number 4 is extracting the last ones here, the last 2. So what you cannot do is you cannot extract the product and the shop because they are not following each other. They are not in, the shop is not directly after the product. So that's why we need to have the name always before the item that we actually want to extract. So now product and price we have here. So we have in total 7 bundles because we have bought 7 products. So how does this text parser work now? So what you have to use is a text parser called Match Pattern Advanced. And then you select here for global match, yes. For case sensitive, no. So it doesn't matter if you have capital letters or small letters, that doesn't matter because everything will be recognized as it is not case sensitive. Multi-line, you say yes. Single line, you say no. And then it asks you continue the execution of the route. Even if the module finds no matches, you say no. So here, text, you enter or you map the result of your ChatGPT module. This you map here. And what you see here in pattern, this is the pattern that we want the text parser to recognize in our result and extract that. So we wanted to recognize product, followed by a string, then a new line, total price in dollars, followed by a date. Followed by a string decimal. So this is the pattern that we wanted to recognize. So then we save this. And the next module we can add here is create a database. So this is the Notion module. You have to add your Notion, your workspace or you have to connect it with Make. Then you enter your database ID here, and then you map. So the item in that case is the value that we get from the product and price text parser module. The price is the name, and then in temp name we again add the name, so value here, and then you click save. So this will create the database items. So the products that you bought, in that case 7, it will create now 7 database items with the product and the respective price. So let's go to the next text parser. Here we extract name 1 and shop. So let's have a look how this looks like. The settings here are the same as for the first text parser. The text that you map here is also the result of ChatGPT. You only change here the pattern. So, and this pattern looks now for name 1, followed by a string, new line, and then shop, followed by a string again. So, and what you then do, now you want to update the database items that you created here because you want to update them with the respective shop you bought them in. So you add the module that is called search objects. And here again, you add your database ID. And then you have here limit 100. That is a number that is not fixed here. You can change that number. This is the number of the latest database items that this search objects module will search for and that it thinks you want to update. So this number I chose in case I have a super big shopping in the supermarket and I have 100 items, which is very unrealistic, but in case that happens, so I set up 100 here. You can set it up to 50, 10, 200, whatever you think is your limit. So now we imagine that this module really searches for the last 100 database entries. It might be now that the receipt that you just took a picture of that you want to have entered in your database only has, let's say, 50 items. Then it will still search 50 more that are already older than the ones you just took now. So it will also modify the 50 database items before. And this is what we do not want. And that's why we have to enter a filter, and that's when we need our temporal name for. So now we say only update these database items where the temporal name, which equals our product name, equals the value, which in this case is our product. So only there, please only search these database items, which then should be equal to 1. And then save. Okay, and then we add the module called update a database item. And here you also add your database ID. Then it asks you for the database item ID, and this is the page ID of the module search objects that we just looked on before. And then the only property that you update here is the store name, which in our case is the name here of our name and shop text parser module. And then we click save. So let's go to the third text parser. Here we extract the name and the date. So the first settings here are the same as in the ones before. We only change the pattern, and this looks for name to colon, then it looks for a string, then a new line, and then the date in ISO 8601 colon, followed by a date. Okay, we save this. And then we search again for objects. Here again, you enter your database ID. The limit is the same as in the one before. And here we enter the filter that the temporal name again equals our product name. And we click save. And then the same here, we add the module update a database item. The page ID, the same is the page ID of the search objects module. And here we update our purchase date and enter the name here. And we click save. And then to the last one, this one extracts the name and the category. Here the same, you also only modify the pattern, and here we have name 3 colon, then it looks for a string, a new line, category colon, and another string. Then you click save, and the same procedure here with search objects. Here you have the same filter that temporal name, which equals our product name, is equal to our product name here. And we click save. And then we update the database again. And now we only enter the category, which is the name of our text parser module output. And then we click save again. So once we have done this, we save our scenario, and then we can run the shortcut. So let's delete all the products here. So now it's empty. I have 2 recipes here, 2 different shops. So I will start with the first one. I take a picture. You should not forget to run the module. So I haven't sent the picture yet. So I choose use photo. And then you can see here on this little progress wheel how far the shortcut is. Now the data has been sent, and we should see our scenario running here. And now we should have the first entries. Okay, so this was our first one. So let's also take a picture of our second receipt. I first click run once here and go back to our database. and I take a picture of our receipt. So our webhook has received the data, and the data is now being processed. Okay, now we can see here how our data entries are being made. Okay, so that's it. This is how you can enter your expenses just by taking a picture with your iPhone. I hope this was helpful for you. Maybe you find some inspiration for other cool use cases. Let me know about it if you found something else. And if you like this tutorial, then I would be really happy about a thumbs up or even a follow. That would really make my day. And then thanks for watching and see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.